Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Crusader Kings 3. We're on episode 2 now, so we've still just started the series, and as we left off in the last episode, we'd captured both Napoli and Comada, starting to establish our new and improved Roman Empire back into southern Italy for the moment, with obviously the goal of returning Hellenistic Roman back into the Mediterranean as to what it once was. So we've had a pretty good start in the last episode. We've managed to gain a fair bit of ground. Now, we were going to move across to Sardinia and start laying siege to their settlements. However, the Archonate of Sardinia has taken it over completely. So there were a few smaller lords here, but unfortunately they've all been taken over. So it's now one duchy altogether, which is a slightly bigger problem. And we might not be able to take them over just yet. So we're probably going to turn our eyes onto the Swordinid Emirate here, trying to take over Cosenza first. However, before we do that, we probably just want to build up Comada, as they're not really giving us any levies or taxes at the moment. So we're probably going to focus on getting them up to where we want first before we go and declare another war. Because I think that says we're losing 90% of our taxes and 50% of our levies. So we could be having close to 200 levies coming out of there, and we're only getting 90. Same with Napoli, we're still losing a little bit here. Obviously, it's not as much anymore. It's only 4% taxes, 2% levies, but we can still up that back to normal, and then we've got to change their culture and their faith. So still fair bits to do. We'll go ahead and carry it on anyway, because not much is really happening at the moment. I did ask you guys to just leave your comments. Obviously, I don't think the first episode has probably been uploaded by the time I'm recording this one, but I would still like to hear your feedback on what you think, how you think this is going, and whether or not you want to see longer periods of time covered, if they're just condensed down into shorter clips of what's sort of more going on, because I know obviously right now not a lot's happening. I know it's still the early game, so there's not much that can be expected to happen, but we don't want to make it so that nothing's happening altogether. Now we can go ahead and speed this right up, and we've got a new lifestyle perk, so we get popular figurehead, which is going to improve our public opinion in all of our counties. So pretty positive now. So that should mean that we can convert them just that little bit quicker. We're about to get full county control in Napoli, and we're about to convert Salerno to Hellenists. And we successfully seduced our wife. So now we should hopefully start seeing some more children. Preferably, we're going to get a boy at some point. And obviously our wife is educating our two daughters. There we go. Our son and heir. We're Decius, aren't we? So I meant change his name. I didn't mean name him after me. Damn it. Oh well. Done now. Right, let's quickly. We'll educate him ourselves. We've got good skills. I want to try and pass them on to him. He didn't acquire our comely trait. That is a shame. Doesn't look like any of our children did, actually. That's a shame. But oh well. It is what it is. So, where are we at on there? 96. Nearly converted them to Hellenistic. That's about to come under our control completely. Lovely. So, we could either have him now training up our guys again, or we could set him to improving here. We'll get him to start improving control in Comada. It's going to be a long process. Even if he gets halfway, we'll start seeing some more men coming out of there, which would be a good start. So, as long as we set him to the task, it shouldn't matter so much. We want to keep an eye on our men. Once we get to about 1,100 men, then we'll probably look at declaring war on the Sword and Emirate, although, never mind. He's got a very strong ally, so people are now forging alliances, which is the one thing that we can do, but we can't do at the same time, because everyone around us is Christian, which means the only allies we can get are the people who don't consider us hostile, like the Nordics, the Slavics, everyone who's basically all the way over here, and possibly over here, maybe less so though. However, the Muslims and the Christians despise us. They consider us evil, not just hostile, but evil. So, like I said, it's not going to be an easy path. We've also lost our Chancellor. Don't know when that happened. we shall... Oh, we've not got a good one anywhere, so we'll see if... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Right, we'll get him to convert. Kamada's going to take 21 years. Napoli's going to take... We're converting the culture there, so we'll go for Napoli. We'll just do 2 at a time. I think that makes probably more sense. Investment inquiry with Duchessa Paulina's diligent. Sorry. Oh my god. Let's try that again. With Duchessa's... the hell did you say that? Duchessa? Duchessa Paulina's diligent administration of my household finances. Oh my god, I'm struggling. There is more gold at the end of this season than expected. How shall we put these to best use, husband? Every powerful vassal, every courtier. County level changes by 10. Encourage development. Development grows 10%. So increase defences, or we could gain 50. Let's gain 50 because we can put that to constructing a new building in one of our settlements. Probably Kamada. Once that fortress is done, we'll get some. Well, we can get a port there. Actually, they're good for development and income. I don't think I've ever struggled that much to read a simple sentence. There's a road. Oh, I do want to do this, but roads take a lot of money. We'll leave the roads for now. That will, yeah, we'll sink too much money into that. I don't really have. I want to focus on getting new buildings, new things that are going to really help us now. Paulina comes of age. She's become tough soldier, flexible leader. Now that would be great, but we're not allowed to have women lead our armies. Right. Today I was given grave news. She's got cancer. That's rough. Do no more than what is necessary. There's nothing you can do for that. She's got aggravated wound. She may die. Luckily, well, not luckily, but luckily, it's my daughter and not my son. So, increased control. We've just lost 2 negative factors in Kamada, which has improved the control massively here. It's really good. Now we're finally starting to see some tax come out of it, and a few more levies creeping through, especially with the new fortress. That should help out with the larger garrison. So what we'll do is we'll get a trade port up next. That will develop it quicker and also get us some more gold coming in. So we'll get that built. We're up to 891 men. We can't take them on. There's still no real cracks anywhere. She's pregnant again. Hopefully she doesn't have a son this time. Vermin infested several granaries. So we had this before, didn't we? And we ordered the church to feed the people because we've got plenty of piety. And it doesn't really matter too much to us. We've also got divided attention. That doesn't really affect us. So we could now potentially be the owner of 9 counties. We've only got 3, and in our lifetime we're not going to have up to 9. But later on... Damn it! Later on in the game, it would be useful. Oh, that's not good. Faustus, yeah, so we've got another son, which means our kingdom's going to be split in half. Oh, of all the buffoonery I've ever seen, in improved relation with neighbours, my good-for-nothing chancellor has officially acknowledged Emir Sorden's claims to the county of St. You useless. This is why you hire educated people. Alright, so I have a plan. So I'm going to send my son, my second son, to be educated by him, the Pontifex. So, instead of, when the succession happens, instead of my son splitting, there is never a quiet moment. My son and heir Decius is so full of questions. I do my best to encourage his curiosity, but sometimes I cannot help but get exhausted by the constant stream of thoughts and queries. So he's become curious, which means his learning and diplomacy is... That's good. Okay, that's a good trait. What was I saying? Yeah, so what's going to happen at the moment is when I die, we're going to lose the county of Napoli and all of its, well, not all of it, but the majority of its levies and taxes to my second son, because we'll become Decius. So what I can do, being Roman and Hellenistic, is when they both come of age, I can make Faustus become my Pontifex, and that means that he cannot inherit lands or titles, which means we have a single heir and everything gets passed down to him. Obviously, I have to survive long enough for them to both come of age. And we ideally want him to have a good level of learning. Obviously, the Pontifex we've got at the minute, he is old, so he probably will die around the sort of time he comes of age, but he's got very good learning skills, so I don't want to replace him unless I absolutely have to. We do want to get rid of her, though. So, a lot to consider, but that is one way we can sneak around that. Let's keep it sped up. Principality of Benevento. We want to see, really, if people are making alliances, which they don't seem to be doing. It is good, so we could, if I knew, so one of their men-at-arms is entirely onagers. They've got bowmen and light horsemen, so we could, they have the numbers, however, we could rearrange, to be honest, our bowmen cancel out their bowmen, and bowmen counters against skirmishers. Well, unfortunately we do have skirmishers. I could swap them out for cavalry, but we have pikemen, which would wipe out their cavalry. Now we could increase them, and we could improve our bowmen. That gives us 200 men, matches our number with them, and then we've countered their cavalry because we have pikemen. We have more archers than they do. Their archers will counter our light skirmishes, but they don't have heavy footmen, so it shouldn't matter. We might actually be able to beat them. I'm throwing a lot of words out there, but trust me, I think this might actually work. So once those two formations are full, if they haven't made any alliances, I'm going to declare war on them for the county of Benevento, which is this one here. We'll take it over. It's their biggest county. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got 5 areas to build in, which is, yeah, big. That's got 4. That's got 3. That's got 3 as well. So we want Benevento. It's their largest county. They've got no alliances. We've actually got more gold than they do, but that's not important. We want to put that to use. Commander's county control is going up, so they're nearly producing 1 gold a month for us, which is a good start. Good. We've had a daughter, so no more children, no more sons. Sorry, we don't want any more sons. And what we'll do is here, as we've got more money to spend, we'll build a regimental grounds, get 125 more levies. And then we're starting to look a little bit more like a threatening force. And then the main thing we've got to focus on is converting the counties to Roman. Obviously we've only done 1 so far, so only 1 county is Roman and Hellenistic, so it's a bit of a slow start. But we are still getting somewhere. Development is increasing, control's good. Control is good. We want to get one of these changed pretty quick. Control's going up there. Sicilian. And we want to keep an eye on the map. I don't reckon it'll be too long before Italy will fall apart. And once it does, we'll be there to pick up the pieces. But what we're going to do now is we're going to send our daughter off to marry someone to form an alliance. Just in case, if anyone declares war on me, I can call in an ally for free, and relevance normally works best, but should be looking for somebody. There you go. Who's this? Emirate of Calabria. Oh, bugger. Yeah, because my stupid chancellor gave him claims on the county of Salerno, he's going to declare war on us. And he has alliances. So we need to get our daughters married off ASAP. Doesn't matter. Get them sent off. He's got 1,100. As long as we can get some, I think he had 2,000 men as allies. So we want to get that. He's got 1,000. So that's 3. Oh, no. That was different. That was the wrong person. Bollocks. Actually, I suppose that doesn't matter. As long as that wasn't the scaly one, but we just need the alliance for now. As of Alania. All these people are going to be quite far away. But if we betray all of our children, we form all of these alliances, that should give us enough men to stand a pretty damn good chance. She's 18. So if we're going to make him the Pontifex anyway, it doesn't matter who he marries. So we'll do that. That's all of our children married off. We need to form the army up now. Get them ready. We should get all of these come in now. Yep, here we go. So, one more, I think, we're expecting. Lovely. And then with him, what was she? Okay, so she's slightly old, but actually she's not that bad. She's not got the most ideal skill set that we would have asked for, but if it keeps us alive, that's all that really matters. So let's focus on these guys. I don't think they've called any of their allies yet. As soon as they do, we'll call ours in. We match them for numbers. I don't know what their army is formed of. Okay, so there you go. They've just asked one of their allies to join, so we're going to get all of ours in here as well. We'll call every single one of them to war. And then they've got the trait Architect as well, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to either Diplomacy, Prestige a month, or Learning. We'll probably go with Learning. Scholarship focus. And we'll head down this scholar route if we can. I'll explain why in a bit. So what do they consist of? They've got camels, archers, and pikemen. Who counters pikemen? It's probably... They counter heavy infantry. Armoured footmen counter spearmen. So we probably should have had some of those. So I think we still have more counters. They do have a few archers, but we don't have that many. Yeah, we've got more armed counters. Who's leading? Marshall is leading. He seems injured. Obviously, we have to remember that they've got allies on the way. So do we, but ours are a lot further away. So... Oh wait, who actually declared war on us then? They did. And they've called in the Salamid Emirate allies. We're actually going to catch them there. We're going to catch up to them. So we're going to catch that army before their allies get here, which means we've got a massive advantage over them. Our allies are all the way up here, so they've got a lot of distance to cover before they get to us. And that's only 2 of them. I don't know where the others are. Not close. Not close at all, I can tell you that much. Okay, yeah. I mean, they can travel across the sea. It's a long way to travel and very expensive. But so they're there. Okay. They're not as far away as I thought. Still pretty damn far there. So we've caught up with them. Let's slow that right down. And we should have the advantage and beat them here. Even though they have more men, we've got the better counters. Although it is bloody close. We've only got 30 men more than them. However, we've caused more casualties. Yeah, no, we're winning. We are winning that battle. As long as they don't get sudden alliances. And one of my members just killed. Bollocks. King Louis II has 30 opinion of us. Good. The Chancellor's not completely useless. I think it's safe to say we've beaten them. However, we have lost one of our knights in doing so, which isn't the best. There we go. Lovely stuff. So we lost somebody. I don't think we captured anyone, did we? No. That is a shame. What we're going to do is we're going to pull back and recoup our numbers. We've got a new knight, so we want to get all of our knights back up together. So we'll pull that rally flag over here and get him to join the army. Although he's only one man, knights make all the difference. Yep, Paulina died, which may mean we lose that alliance. Yep. However, they may still be in the war. Possibly. They are still in the war, so we've still got them to help us here, which isn't too bad at all. And we just want to sit here, make sure our army gets all the levies back they need. We're still making money, so we're all good to keep the army up. We could press on them and start laying siege, but I want to keep it on my land as much as possible. Hopefully our allies aren't too far away. They are making their way down here, so they probably will get here in time. This is all to defend us too, so we'll send a move in now, try and take over Cosenza, start pushing on the attack. The longer the war goes on, the more war score we'll build, and it goes against them, so it's all working in our favour. Right, now they have a lot more men. So now we're going to want to be really careful. We want to go where it's going to give us the biggest advantage, which is probably here in the hills terrain. In fact, even here, they have to come through us. It's not going to be enough, I don't think. We'll see what it comes up with. If we get beaten, it's not the end of the world, as long as we can pull back. But we'll see what it comes up with, because they do have a lot more men than we do. A lot more men, so I don't think we're going to win this at all. We should hit them quite hard. Oh, okay, that's changed things. We might be able to win this. If they get here quick enough, I should have pulled back one square more, and we might have beaten them completely. That's 800 men. If they can get to us quick enough, we've got a bloody good chance. All they've got to do is land here. They think they've joined us, and we're beating them. We've maimed one of their knights. We've killed one of their knights. And we've destroyed them. We've lost one of ours, though. Let's get him back. So our knights aren't the best in the world. We haven't trained them up. We've had our guy dealing with county control. So we've not had a chance to really upgrade our guys. So they're not the best. They're still okay, though. Having a look at the prowess there, they're not the worst. But we want better knights. Alright, we'll do that and then we'll start pushing. So we've got 20% war score. We need, I think, at least 50 to have a white piece. And then, obviously, 100% to beat them completely. And if we enforce our demands against them, they'll have to pay us. And then give us prestige as well. So we'll try and press on them. Where are they heading now? They might head their army straight down to Salerno. Obviously, we're laying siege. We're going to lose men during the siege, but that's not a problem. We can speed that right up, I think. So they've gone back to Kamada, but they won't take it before we've taken here. This has only got 170, and our allies just wiped them out anyway. So there we go. However, our enemies just formed a new alliance. And somebody else has just declared war, but I don't know who. They're not nearby. We've captured a valuable hostage. So we're at 50%. We could probably enforce a white peace against them. However, we're definitely going to win this. I don't see us losing this at all. Okay, so that's changed things. There's a good chance that 2,500 men could turn up. In which case, we will offer the white peace. But until they do, we'll hold out as long as we can. I don't know where they're coming from at all. I'm not sure where they're coming from. But like I said, we'll keep an eye out for them. Because that is a pretty big threat. Okay, we'll slow it down. We're moving a bit too fast. They're over here. They've arrived. Okay, so we'll sue for white peace. Unless, how many allies have we got nearby? We might have enough men to take them. We head round back to Napoli. Hopefully this army is going to follow us. Unless our friends here stay. We'll see what happens. They've got a while before they take Napoli anyway. Obviously we don't want them to take it. No, they're about to send 700 more men down there and join forces. I don't think we're going to win that. Let's offer white peace. So be it. There we go. Disband the men. The war is over. All we could have possibly gained from that is 200 gold. So it's not the end of the world that is how it ended. That's kept us in it. We still need to get more men. Got another daughter, that's good. So that's another alliance we can form. We'll get her educated by my wife again. If I can. Oh, actually, you know what? My court physician. See if he can pass on any skills. Did we capture any prisoners? No, we didn't. Okay. So, go back to council. It's nearly completely under control, so we'll get that finished up. Nearly changed the culture there to Roman, so that's good. That's shown us that we can't really defeat them in a war. If we wanted to take Cosenza, we'd have to fight against that army of 2,500, and for me to call in my allies, it's going to cost me prestige, so it's not an easy thing to get done. I think Italy's in a war with Venice, possibly. No, not Venice. They're in a war with somebody, I think, for a lot of land. That might be our chance to split them up completely. We've still got Sardinia, who's got no allies. It says I've got 5,000 men, but I don't. And they've got pikemen and bowmen. However, they've pretty much got the same men I do. And we've got no counters. It might be worth me changing my skirmishes here into heavy swordsmen. Because I think that's going to give us a bigger advantage over our enemies. Especially considering just how many men they've all got. And their bowmen are going to counter my skirmishes. We don't want them to have any counters. So if, at the least we could either have cavalry counter the bowmen, or heavy swordsmen and counter the spearmen. And then they wouldn't have any counters on us. So possibly something to have a look into. We've got the regimental grounds, they're about to finish. We could upgrade the trade port, but we'll build another regimental grounds there. That's all the building slots in them two done. We want manor grounds here, although possibly can't build them. Let's slow that down. As I struggle to make out the tiny letters on the scroll before me, I feel a headache building once again. Why do scribes insist on writing such small symbols? I squint and try again. Nothing short of a miracle. With the aid of a stone of glass, even old men struggling with bad eyesight could read with ease. Here, I require your assistance. I need one of those stones. Sell everything which is impossible to read. No, we'll get assistance from our Pontifex. Sure. He gets a hook on us, but I don't think there's much he can really do there. I can't build a manor house here. Not sure why. But I can get farmlands. I could get hunting grounds, which gives us levies as well, but we'll try and focus on the economical aspect. Mansions. It doesn't say anything about that. Why I can't build that in Kamada. Which is a bit strange. I can't build the regimental grounds either. There must be a different level of... What is it? There's nothing different about them, are there? Napoli. Possibly it could be due to the size. I'm not sure. Anyway, we've got regimental grounds completed. So that's another 125. We're now up to 1,400 men. And Napoli is now Roman. So we'll get him changed over to converting Kamada. He's still increasing the control. He's got 9 months left on that task. I need 1,200 soldiers. So we could lay siege to one of these smaller settlements. Although that tiny settlement has 1,200 men. Actually saying that, it's 3 counties, that's why. Minorca, Majorca and Ibiza. I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I mean, we do have a good amount of men. I would love to take over the Swordnid Empire, but with his allies, that's just not a possibility. I want to get over here and chip away at his empire. Wards can gain additional skills. We'll go for that quickly, and then we'll get scientific. Okay, I think that's how we're going to have to play it. We've got 51 gold. Let's disband our light footmen. We're going to take armoured footmen with us when we can. We're going to get over here. We'll probably get 200 of those men together. I think that'll be the best way to do it. We'll get 200 armoured footmen. We'll sail across, and then we'll take... if we could take Caligari. Cagliari. Sorry. I think that's probably the biggest county, or maybe that top left county there of Ardara. Or Sassari. I think Sassari, actually, that is the biggest county. So if we take that away from him, I know it's empty land, but it gives us a lot of ground to cover there. I've been studying the ancient religious texts and the writings of scholars, and they all seem to agree that the world will end 6,000 years after its creation. By my calculations, we are less than a century away. Oh, you're so smart. However, my Pontifex Kia urges me to keep it to myself, leave it to the clergy, and avoid panic. What if your calculations are wrong? Everyone deserves to know the truth. A reasonable point. This choice may lead down a path of zealousness. I should consult with more flamens. Cynicism. Zealousness. We'll consult with more flamens. And we'll just play it safe there. I don't want to be a zealot, and I definitely don't want to be a cynic. Neither of those are that beneficial to me. So we'll play down the safe route. Right, we've got 84 gold, so we can start forming our armoured footmen here. Obviously, it's going to cost us to get across the sea here anyway. I don't know how much. We've finally increased control, so we'll get our marshal now training commanders. He's got 4 years left converting them to Hellenism, which is good. We should. Cultural acceptance between Sicilians and the Romans decreases by 7.5. He's already improved one of our knights. So if we keep him on that task, he should improve our knights massively, which should give us a huge advantage in order to win against our enemies. From all my evenings watching stars, I have seen with my own eyes what I have only heard of before. The stars move at different speeds and reverse their course at different times, but seemingly in large groups, depending on which celestial sphere they belong to. Indeed, with the right calculations, one could even predict their movement. My Pontifex does not approve, of course. Leave the skies be, the celestial realm is for the clergy to know. I will find cynicism. Oh, god damn it. You are right, I should focus on earthly matters. I mean, he is... That would give me stewardship and learning for 10 years. It would be smart of me to look to the heavens. However, it would be more logical of me to focus on the religion at hand. So we'll do that for now. This might possibly make us a zealot. However, that's the path we'll go down for the time being, because I think that's probably going to be safer and more beneficial to us now. We'll keep the clergy on our side, even though he provides us with no men or money because he's got no temples. That will change. As soon as we've unlocked the technology, we'll get a temple established here as quick as possible. Obviously, if we do take over any... In fact, if we aimed to take over Acarenza, this county here, the bishopric of Acarenza, so we'd need to take over county of Apulia instead of Benevento. Actually, no. Benevento has a church. So what we can do is we can take over Benevento and establish that church as our own. And what I've just realised, which was kind of stupid of me, I was talking about invading here, but obviously our plan was to invade Benevento, wasn't it? Before we were declared war upon, and apparently they have no men, so let's quickly take advantage of that. Whoever they're at war with is a friend of ours. Duchy of Raska. Yeah, he's literally in a war, he's got no men. Let's take advantage of that and capture Benevento. Easiest war in existence. There's literally no resistance. Regimental clearings completed in Napoli. That's another 125 men. 150 men, sorry. And it reduces our men-at-arms wages. So whoever's doing that may establish some territory here in Italy, which isn't good for us. But we're going to capture Benevento before they can. That might make them quite big, but if that's... Oh no, Benevento's actually taken land over there. But there we go. We've captured Benevento. We've seized Find great legends, which is very good if we want to establish ourselves as a more pious man. We will do that. The morsel of St. David needs repairing. I'll tell you what, that is actually getting quite low, so we will repair it. A fair bit of gold of ours, but we want to keep it in the family because it's quite good. Now that that's done, let's take over another county just so we can get this war finished up quicker. I assume we're not capturing very many prisoners at all. I was hoping we'd have captured a few more because I like always recruiting and converting my prisoners so that I get as many people in my court as possible, especially when I need to replace a bad chancellor. Because we're not going to have many other people that we can replace. Right, what they got? 145. We're up against 325. Let's leave sieges and let's go and take out that army. So we only need 500 men. That should be enough to take them out. And we've got a lesson in lucre. My son Decius has just finished a lesson held by Landanov on the management of the treasury and the gold therein. Decius seems to have taken the lesson to heart with a reinforced sense of justice. Right, that's good. So that means he's going to be a natural steward. Okay. So a strong sense of justice will endear you to the people. This is the trait. Just becomes greedy, becomes callous. I don't want either of those. I want him to be just because, one, it's viewed nicely by Hellenists. It's viewed as virtuous. It gives him a lot of bonuses, and the only thing it really takes down is his intrigue, which I don't care too much for anyway. Because hopefully we'll keep... Aha! There we go. We've just won the war. We've just captured the faction's player Son and Heir. So we'll enforce our demands, take over Benevento, disband the men, and then we'll head into our dungeons. Mayor Alahis. So we could ransom him for 22 gold. And we can't recruit him because I think he's the Son and Heir. So we'll ransom him off for 22 gold. We don't need to keep him. If I can't recruit him, there's no point. And there we go. Benevento is now under our control. As much as I would love to leave my marshal improving my men, let's get him to reduce the county control. Sorry, improve the county control, as it's on 1. And we want to start seeing some men coming out of there. We've got scientific, so now we're going to hopefully head towards mustering grounds a bit quicker. Obviously, the more people we convert to Roman, the quicker we'll start unlocking those technologies anyway. We've got enemy rebels just over the border. Their war is still continuing, and it looks like Benevento is about to be split in half completely. How old are my children anyway? So first son is 10, second son is 7. And I am 43, so my character's getting on quite a fair bit. And obviously the more land I take over, then the more land gets split in the succession. And now we've got 4 counties. It means we'll own the southern half and he'll own the top half. So we really want to be alive when he comes of age. And there's nothing I can do about that until later technology. Commander. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to lose Napoli as the main one. It's probably the best one. And the people's faith there consider us evil, but we've nearly converted them. He has taught Faustus the Iranian language. Okay. The more he knows, the better. That's good. And he is to become the next Pontifex anyway. Obviously, now the church has a temple. So, if we go into our council and we hover over this, we're now gaining a whole 7 levies. Look at that. Bloody loads. No gold coming in. However, we could have potentially 51 soldiers coming from the church if they liked us more, which they will do. And obviously, the more temples we take over, the more men and money they'll be able to offer us. And I think he just died. So he actually endorses us more so. And that means Faustus isn't getting the education I wanted him to get. That's not good. Pause the game. I need somebody with high learning. He's got 16. Let's keep his learning going up because we really want him to be a good Pontifex. The beating. What in the world has happened to my son Decius? He is all bruised and beaten, and he refuses to name who did this to him. Was it an older child, or did he pester a noble to the point of fury? Run, hide, and never give your foes a chance to hurt you. He becomes craven. Nope. Avoid people and you'll be safe. It's better than craven, but it's not ideal. Your enemies are everywhere. Paranoid. That's definitely not going to be better. Stress gain 100%. Dread gain 25%. You know what? That actually is better. He only loses 1 diplomacy. Let's go with that. I need to reduce my stress. My character is getting far too stressed at the moment, so let's call a hunt. We'll lose 40 stress and hopefully gain some prestige or well, anything that's relatively useful, really. Look at that reclusive for Paulina. So he's just insulted my wife. You're acting like a child and punished by one. He hates me anyway, so that doesn't actually matter. I could make my wife like me more, but she already likes me 100%. No, let's make him taste the belt. He's just insulted the queen. That is not good enough. So look at that. We've now got up to 1,700 men. We could still improve our armoured footmen and bowmen a little bit more. We probably do want a few more armoured footmen. They are good to have. Right, this has popped up again, so we can make our wife teach one of our guys. So we can actually get him to teach our Pontifex, which will give him +3 learning and more opinion, because he seems quite happy to learn. So let's do that. Let's go to teach him. What we want to do is we want to build walls and towers here in Benevento. Even if my second son does take it over, it's still part of our kingdom. Let's have a look. Current situations, we can declare war. Petronia Ducid, one of my daughters. I haven't got anyone teaching her, so let's get her trained up in intrigue if we can. Prowess by 1. Educate child. Spouse age you in learning studies. Excellent. 300 lifestyle experience. That's good. We can declare wars. Plenty of wars can be declared, but on no... Aha! It's finally happened. Let's quickly pause up. So, Spoleto. Principality of Spoleto. So, Italy has just been split in half. They're still too strong for us to take on, but that's the first sign of Italy, the Kingdom of Italy destroying itself. So hopefully, now that we've seen Spoleto split apart, which is closer to us than Italy, so that's actually pushed Italy further away. I imagine, yeah, they're still stronger than us. However, Italy was obviously massively stronger than us. They've only got 380 men at the moment. I think it's because they're in war. But if we hover over, there was a way you could see it. I can't remember. Like that. Look at all of these potential kingdoms that could be formed. It's like 2 of them are about to be. 3 of them are about to be, actually. And once those 3 become independent, we could see the rest of these become independent. And then there'll be lots of little kingdoms here for us to take over. That's the beauty of a civil war. We'll still keep pushing against Benevento. Obviously, we've got a truce at the moment. Popular opinion has been reduced in Napoli, but that's fine, I think, because it's still pretty high. Anyway, whoa. Daughter comes of age. She's become a fortune builder. Oh, look at that. That's really good. That's a shame. We've got a new lifestyle perk. So we've got open-minded, different culture opinion +15, cultural acceptance 20%. We can learn 2 extra languages, increased development and county efficiency by 20%. So that now we'll go open-minded, and then we want to get scholar, really. So we'll keep working our way down towards that. I need to keep my eyes out on who I can declare war against. That's where he was. It's over there. But I need to keep an eye on people's allies. So Sardinia is still an option, but obviously the idea of going across the sea to get them is a bit of a pain. It's very expensive to do, and we probably want to build up our forces here. So what I might do is just wait long enough to declare war on Benevento again. We'll try and take over Apulia, and then what that will do is that will give us another temple. We'll start seeing some more men coming in with the Pontifex. So essentially what we'll start doing in the future is anywhere that's got a temple is we'll focus on taking first. If we can build up the amount of men that our religion can give us, then that'll be a huge advantage. What we also want to do when we can, is we want to found a holy order. We need to have a kingdom to do that, though. And if we go on to titles, this is what we need to take over in Sicily to create the Kingdom of Sicily. Quite a lot to take on. Quite a lot of land to capture first. Might be easier to take over the Kingdom of Sardinia, but we shall see. What's this? It's late and I'm tucking into a gripping treatise on classical grammar. Just as I start giggling at some delightfully snide marginalia left by the previous reader, my wife enters the room. Spineless man, you neglect everything but your studies, reading indoors alone from dusk to dawn. Get your head out those dusty scrolls or don't come to my bed tonight. You gain alluring confidence, fertility 10, attraction 20. I could read and increase her learning by 2. Focused on reading, I'll lose 40 opinion from her, so I don't actually need to lay with her again. So let's increase her learning. Let's force her to read with us. I think that'll make her happy. Somebody's learnt the Arabic language. That's good. Deisha seemed to enjoy our last feast immensely. Of all things, he could not stop talking about the rich clothes and glittering gold he saw there. These are the trappings of power. Keeps the trait greedy. Gregarious. Okay, I think I want him to have gregarious. Yep. Attraction opinion up. Opinion of gregarious characters. It also opens up a lot of things that will reduce his stress in the future. And Benevento's just built their walls and towers. So let's get next. Farms and fields. Convert faith in Napoli. So Napoli is now Hellenistic. Be useful. So we'll get him to convert Benevento. And obviously that places the temple firmly under Hellenism's control. And then Commander will be left till last, but they'll become Roman first. It's all going pretty well. So we're slowly building up our force. Look at that. Kingdom's growing ever so slightly. We can declare wars. Powerful vassals expect councillor positions. They're not going to get them. We don't have any actual lords. We've only got barons. So we've got Baroradgus of Maratea. What I should start doing is demanding some of their conversions. It could be quite good. The latest work of my old foe, Emir Naguna, has become the rage at court of late. The piece deals with feelings of sorrow and loss, and Naguna has publicly dedicated it to me. The spring of regret. Oh my God. The spring of regret. When such beautiful countenance is hid from sight, we scream and we wail no matter our might. Without him, we are but hollow shells, each of us a little corpse, a hollow parallel. So far, I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore for much longer. So we could... I don't quite know how I feel about this. The poem is lauded, so that's potential to either gain opinion or lose opinion, or we can say it was truly heartfelt, so we could gain opinion from him and lose stress, which I think is obviously the best option there. So we'll gain some opinion with him, become slightly closer friends, and lose stress of our own, which is always helpful to do. Right, lots going on. Just going to move that rally point back down to here. See, 1,600 men. We've got a lot of gold, so we could start looking at maybe... Not start looking at... Let's improve these guys. So we can actually have 500 of them. I'm not quite sure why, but we can. Oh no, I think it's because we're Roman. So we can have naturally more men-at-arms. Armoured footmen, men-at-arms than anyone else. I have arrived at Paulina's chambers, unseen and unheard, with longing in my heart and my loins. I slowly push the door open. Duchessa Paulina is seated by her desk, writing furiously. As I clear my throat, she jumps out of her skin. She quickly stuffs a roll of parchment into her pocket and turns towards me with an uneasy look on her face. I mean, I should trust her. We have 100 opinion, and she's also my lover. So I could risk potentially coming back later and finding out what it is. Let's do that. As I rummage through her things, Duchessa Paulina sleeps like a babe. The sedative I put in her spiced wine sure did the trick. Within minutes, I found the piece of parchment she hid from me. It is a list of food and drinks and unfamiliar names, including that of my favourite troubadour. It seems like Paulina is planning to surprise me with a feast held in my honour. So we did take a risk there. And we'll just obviously act surprised. But it's always good to know, especially if it's a murder scheme. It's the last thing we want. A gesture of appreciation. There we go. So she hosted us a feast, which has gained us prestige, and we're looking pretty good on that. We're very pious. Things are going pretty well. You know, our army's looking pretty strong as well. Obviously, building up our armoured footmen. I don't know how long we've got this truce with them until. There is a way to look, isn't there? Here. So, truce is until 25th of June, 898. Not long now. And then we can take over Apulia. We'll keep an eye on Italy and see what develops over there. Obviously, I think once we take over Apulia, we'll move towards Sardinia and try and take that over. We'll also want to keep an eye on our children here. She's changed her religion, but that's absolutely fine for her to do because she is Roman still. So she can have a different religion if she so wishes. Faustus is 12. Decius is 14. Let's have a look at his skills. Another one of my children has died. God, it's not going well. And I've become overrun with stress. Confider. You gain managed grief, so we're going to lose a skill point in everything. But we become a confider, which gives us diplomacy and releases our stress. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and pause up. So what was I looking at? I just wanted to check out. So my son has terrible intrigue. Good stewardship. Not very good martial. We need to get that improved a little bit. Hopefully we do. Because that's producing the amount of levies we have. Which we don't want. Diplomacy is pretty good. Learning is pretty good. Prowess is also pretty good. Doesn't have much money. His wife's getting old, so we'll probably have to break that betrothal as he comes sort of 16 years old. Because she's too old to bear in that many children. Unless we get lucky and he has one son and no other children. But we still want daughters. It's a hard game to balance, but that's what makes it so interesting and complicated. Right. I'm going to go ahead and end the episode there, guys. I'm probably going to have a little snip through and just cut out some little bits that are quite boring. Because obviously at this stage of the game, not a lot happens. But like I said, also, please let me know what you think about that. And if you want to see the full unedited version, or if you do want to see a more condensed version, please let me know. But otherwise, I think we're off to a pretty good start. Salerno is growing, looking stronger, and we're starting to get more money and more levies coming in from all of our settlements. So, looking pretty strong across the board. Got a lot of new buildings to build up, and as we start creeping in, taking over Benevento, what we're going to have to look forward to is start installing vassals into some of these settlements, which is going to create new and different problems for us, potentially in the terms of civil wars. So we'll try and keep them small and weak as long as we can. But lots of things to consider. All for the next episode. Hopefully what we'll do in the next one is we'll take over the majority of Benevento. It's just the truces that are keeping us at bay. But I think once we've taken over Apulia, we should have enough men at that point to then take over Sardinia without any real threat. And then we could also look at Spoleto, as they've only got 100 men more than us, so we could potentially take them down as well. It's all about keeping our eye on who they have as allies. But there's a lot of people we could move against. We could even... No, we can't. But we've got people all over the place that we could attack. Lots of small kingdoms. We could even go across the sea here. So it's the Adriatic to Dalmatia. That seems to be it. They seem to have grown quite a fair bit. So Dalmatia is the only real promise there. We've also got Croatia. Croatia? No, not Croatia. What the hell am I thinking of? Crete. Croatia's all the way up here. Crete down there that we could take over. So lots of options, lots of enemies we can take out. But we also need to install our religion and our culture in the lands that we have captured, and we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because all we'll do then is breed rebellion. So we'll have to play it slow and carefully. But all in all, it seems to be going really well. So thank you guys. As always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And for everyone else, please make sure you get down in that comments box. Let me know what you think. Let me know how your playthroughs are going. Let me know what you're playing. And if there's anything you want to see or want to learn, or just let me know anything, guys. Just get down in those comments and leave a comment. Other than that, I will catch you in the next one, guys. Have a good one, and goodbye.